Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw, and we are kicking off Monday Night Raw with the finals, the final spot of the Money in the Bank qualifier spot. We will see who will join a star-studded field. Either Bron Breakker, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, will join this, or a man that has been having to deal with D-Generation X these last couple weeks, that being Wade Barrett. Barrett is back after being attacked and assaulted by Shinsuke Nakamura just weeks ago, and we'd eventually see Breakker and Big E take Wade Barrett's and Drew McIntyre's spot. So what a way to get payback tonight than defeating one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions and getting yourself a spot, that last spot, in the Money in the Bank match. Breakker and Big E have been pretty good as Raw Tag Team Champions. It took them a little bit to get going. You know, obviously they lost the Tag Team Championships to LWO, Santos Escobar, and Rey Mysterio, but would go on to eventually regain them from them. And now at WrestleMania, they are going to witness all the tag teams go at it on the pre-show of WrestleMania, and then whoever wins there will go on to face Big E and Bron Breakker for the Raw Tag Team Championships. But tonight, it's a whole different ball game. You got a highly focused individual that is looking for some revenge tonight. That is Wade Barrett. It may only take one bullhammer elbow, wasteland, maybe possibly, to take on Bron Breakker tonight in this matchup. Barrett looking for that breakout moment. Certainly, ever since coming back, he has defeated CM Punk and has a handful of other matches. But Wade Barrett wants to, build on some momentum here, and certainly this is one of his probably bigger situations that he's having to deal with, that is dealing with D-Generation X and the rest of that company. Big E, Bron Breakker, Shinsuke Nakamura, Shawn Michaels is helping him out a little bit more than usual, and we'll see Shawn Michaels take on Drew McIntyre next week at WrestleMania. It'll be an absolutely massive matchup there. Referee rings the bell. Here we go. Who will get that sixth spot in the Money in the Bank matchup? A chance to change your life, change your career for the better. Imagine Bron Breakker with the Money in the Bank briefcase and the Raw Tag Team Championships. How crazy would that be? And we'll be finding out who will be the sixth spot later on tonight in the women's division, as we'll see Dakota Kai of the Kabuki Warriors taking on Candice LaRae of The Way. And look at this bear hug. Bron Breakker just trying to suffocate the life out of Wade Barrett. Barrett is in trouble. He's trying to fight out of it, and he might be able to, and it looks like he is able to. He stuns Breakker. Didn't all the way take him down, but that knee certainly will help him. And tonight we have massive matchups from top to bottom. We have your Women's World Champion. She's in action, Bayley. She goes on one-on-one with Indy Hartwell, one half of The Way. Also, big main event, Roman Reigns, your Tribal Chief, will be taking on the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, getting a little taste of that Money in the Bank matchup. As well as tonight, Gunther, your World Heavyweight Champion, and CM Punk go face to face. Very intriguing to see how that's going to end. And I'm being told from Shawn Michaels, once again, there will be no violence between the champions, especially with how big those matches are going to be at WrestleMania, so no violence between those two. It'll be a straight up face-to-face as Wade Barrett able to fight out of that potential disaster there. Oh, vicious backbreaker there from Wade. Now going to go for the pinfall attempt. Will this be enough? No. Big break up there. And for Wade Barrett, winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, heading into a whole new situation and after WrestleMania, would be massive for his career. Certainly give him more opportunities, and especially with the WWE draft, certainly would be able to get him to climb up some rankings here. Certainly in the terms of what draft, like what roster he gets drafted to. Raw, NXT, SmackDown. Imagine if Barrett were to go back to NXT, back to where he first came up through the rankings, having to deal with the first ever season of NXT. But now Breakker going back and forth here. Battle of two superstars that were in NXT at one time is now Barrett. Spine buster there to Wade. Breakker with the hook of the leg. Will this be enough? 2. Strong kick out from Barrett. And Bron, he's hoping for this old man it'd be enough to put him away, but it is not. But Breakker, if he hits this is going to be game over for Barrett, I believe. Breakker with a spear, spearing Barrett in half. And that might honestly be it. I don't know if he got the full stretch on that spear, but we are about to find out. Referee is in position. 2. No, Barrett kicks out. A lot of times with those spear situations, I believe the superstar has to, need to have like a running start. Bron Breakker didn't have a running start. It was more of like a lunging spear than anything. Let's look at that slam from Barrett. Nice maneuver from Wade. Is this enough? 2. No, Breakker again kicks out. Both of these superstars going back and forth here. Uh-oh. Barrett looking for that bullhammer. Elbow right to the dome. That was a full-on contact, and that might be it. And it is. Wade Barrett is going to WrestleMania. Bron Breakker's already going to WrestleMania, but he won't be in the Money in the Bank matchup. Bullhammer elbow, pulling it out, especially being more aggressive in this matchup and able to get that 1, 2, and 3. And we'll see if Wade can do what he's setting out to do, getting some revenge, and going to walk out with that Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania. We don't know what night yet, but good win for Wade Barrett tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after just finding out Wade Barrett is going to WrestleMania, we have one spot left for the women's side of things for the Raw Money in the Bank. And we are going to see Dakota Kai of the Kabuki Warriors making her way down to the ring. She'll be taking on a former tag team partner of hers, that being Candice LaRae. And certainly this is going to be feeling a little different. Dakota Kai going from being booed to being cheered now. Whole different situation for Dakota Kai. Obviously, she had it well made out for herself when she was with Candice LaRae, good friends and everything like that. And then Dakota Kai chose to leave the group to go on to join up with Bayley and Io Sky. Really seen how that going. Then we saw the feud between The Way and Damage Control at that time, and it seems like Damage Control eventually fades away. And then, you get a different variation of Damage Control now, but The Way are still strong. Maybe not gotten as many as opportunities necessarily. As here comes Candice LaRae looking to get ourselves a massive opportunity, former women's tag team champion. And for Candice, this is a moment that certainly it's going to be like a full circle situation, because now Candice LaRae dealing with her. I guess I don't know if they're considered friends after all this time, but Dakota Kai now is a fan favorite. Candice LaRae has always been a fan favorite, if I could recall. So certainly, it's going to be a whole different dynamic. But I don't know if Candice LaRae can trust Dakota Kai in this situation. But it's all to fight for that last spot in the Money in the Bank matchup. Who's going to Mania and who will be left out? Referee rings the bell. Here we go. Dakota here and Candice LaRae going at it. These women know each other quite well, so expect a lot of back and forth early in this matchup. Nice elbow from LaRae, being aggressive here, trying to take it Dakota Kai. And most of the members of the Kabuki Warriors are in that Money in the Bank matchup. You have Asuka, Io Sky, Kairi Sane in that matchup, joining Trish and Lita. Massive names there for WrestleMania. Imagine if you had the Kabuki Warriors, you're going to have 4 of the 6 women in that matchup from the Kabuki Warriors. So certainly a good chance they could all, that somebody from a member of the Kabuki Warriors may walk out with that briefcase. As now Dakota Kai stomping on that midsection, she might be having a game plan to kind of focusing on Candice LaRae's midsection. Why not? Is now a missile drop kick from up top, laying out Candice LaRae. LaRae is in trouble right now. Dakota Kai full of confidence at this moment. Ooh, what a enziguri. You could hear that from the cheap seats. Dakota Kai is not allowing LaRae to, really grasp the situation right now. Dakota Kai, knowing how big this situation is, especially going to play the numbers game if she can there at WrestleMania if she has to. As LaRae getting himself back inside the ring, Dakota Kai talking some trash here a little bit. Tensions are high, as this is a massive moment for both of these women to go on to get ourselves a WrestleMania matchup. Ooh, brutal forearm from Dakota Kai. LaRae is in trouble as well here, trying to, just to sustain the damages. Oh, nice reversal from Candice. And now here comes Miss Wrestling going at it now. Uh-oh. Code Red there takes down Dakota Kai. Nice maneuver there from LaRae. LaRae gonna now focus on slowing down Dakota Kai, which is a great idea, and we know Dakota Kai has had her fair share of leg injuries / knee injuries, so I honestly think this might be a good opportunity for that. That's a Frankensteiner. Man, that Frankensteiner was absolutely brutal, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know how Dakota Kai is honestly moving at this point. She's going to be on her last limbs at this moment, it feels like. Don't know how much, honestly, you could take. You take a Frankensteiner and then a code breaker of all sorts. And now Candice LaRae looking to clinch herself a spot into WrestleMania. But Dakota Kai, the fighter that she is, going to continue to fight and scratch and claw her way to the top of this division. And now LaRae, can't really tell what LaRae was trying to do here. We're about to find out now. Maybe a sharpshooter, possibly. Oh no, going to turn it into a surfboard submission. Even worse for Dakota Kai. She gets her head stomped right into the mat. And a lot of people are thinking with Dakota Kai joining up with the Kabuki Warriors, how a great situation that is, because you have so much tag team expertise in the Kabuki Warriors that somebody very well could go after that women's championship, and a lot of people believe Dakota Kai could be that woman. And can you imagine if Dakota Kai able to, string some wins across, able to get herself a opportunity to challenge for that women's world championship? Be a great opportunity for her to do it. But obviously, winning tonight, going on to WrestleMania, going on to win that briefcase, it's a whole different story. As that was a hellacious boot to the temple. Candice LaRae, again, is able to get up to her feet surprisingly, and down Dakota Kai goes out to the ringside area. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just mere moments away from seeing Bronson Reed, the man that will be challenging Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania for that United States Championship. Bronson Reed will be taking on Grayson Waller. Waller is the man that took down Bronson Reed in his United States Championship reign there at the Royal Rumble in that gauntlet matchup. So we'll see if Reed will be able to bounce back this time against Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller currently does have his number, and now a big old brainbuster though from Candice LaRae to Dakota Kai. Ooh, vicious. I think it was knee to knee, honestly, but I don't know how much damage that was certainly done. Seemed like it was massively effective as a kick to the skull. That might be enough for Dakota Kai to get herself into Mania here. And it is. Dakota Kai is going to WrestleMania, and that means 4 of the 6 competitors heading into that matchup will be a part of the Kabuki Warriors. Dakota Kai, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky. So yeah, basically all 4 of the Kabuki Warriors, ladies and gentlemen. Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Asuka, and Dakota Kai are a part of that matchup with Trish and Lita. Who walks out? Miss Money in the Bank. And now, ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk will make his way down to the ring as we are going to have Gunther and CM Punk face to face just a week away from the WrestleMania bout. Punk, Gunther, same ring, same time. Can only imagine how combustible this is going to be. We've heard from him recently on Monday Night Raw, at least Gunther. He said, hey, I bet everyone's sick of us talking. Let's have a face-to-face next week on Raw. And that is what we're getting right here, right now, tonight, here on Monday Night Raw. So many big things happening tonight, especially with what we just witnessed with the 2 Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Wade Barrett defeating Bron Breakker, as well as We just saw the matchup between Dakota Kai and Candice LaRae. Dakota Kai joining the Money in the Bank matchup for the six members of that matchup are Kabuki Warriors. So good chance one of the members of the Kabuki Warriors will walk out Miss Money in the Bank. But this crowd is standing. I don't think anyone sitting down at this moment. Best in the world, CM Punk is here. He may not give a damn about anyone currently standing up for him, but certainly you can't say that this man CM Punk is not a draw in this company. He won at the Elimination Chamber. He gets himself a World Heavyweight Championship matchup, basically his main event of WrestleMania, and he's going to get it against Gunther live at WrestleMania. In the coming weeks, we'll know more, ladies and gentlemen, as there is the Ring General, Gunther. And what we've announced before, Shawn Michaels has said that if for some reason these guys were to fight back and forth or anything like that, they may have the match get called off here. It seems like Gunther coming down here with a prowess right now. Look at Gunther just walking around the ring, kind of toying with CM Punk, it seems. Just what they say about when a shark walks around or swims around their prey. That's what it feels like right here, right now. Punk is watching Gunther just walk around, just eyeballing him. Gunther in the ring with CM Punk, face to face. I wonder what's going to go down between these two men at WrestleMania, but it seems like both of them have a mic. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say to each other. Now that we're finally face to face, Punk, are you going to say those same exact words to me? How you sound so cocky, so confident that you're just going to easily walk through me? Make it one of your easiest matches of all time from my understanding. Certainly, Punk, you're not the same Punk that everyone fell in love with over 10 years ago that dominated this company. You're washed up, Punk, and you cannot just accept that. You used to be the best in the world. That was 10 years ago. But now you're just a man from Chicago named Phil and uses the moniker of CM Punk. At WrestleMania, like I mentioned, it's going to end with me powerbombing you in the middle of the sacred ring and retaining my World Heavyweight Championship and continuing to run through anyone in my path. While you weren't in WWE, a lot of superstars had to step up into your place. And ever since joining in to WWE, I'm one of those superstars that have stepped up to the plate. And I would love to see you step up to me at WrestleMania and get your ass kicked. So, if you have anything you'd like to say before I leave this prestigious ring, I'd suggest you say it now. You call yourselves the Ring General here on Monday Night Raw, and yes, you have won plenty of big matches, especially the likes of Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and plenty of big superstars, but you have not necessarily dealt with a superstar of my capabilities. I'm a lot better than Rollins, I'm better than Roman Reigns, and I can tell you I'm better than Drew McIntyre. And you are right. I'm not the same CM Punk from 10 years ago that dominated WWE. I had to leave and find myself, leave something that brought so much negativity into my life. But I am back. I dominated NXT. I was one of the longest reigning NXT champions in the history of WWE. And now, after I won the Chamber, I'm coming after that World Heavyweight Champions of yours. I know this matchup at WrestleMania is not going to be easy for me whatsoever. I know you have one of the most devastating chops, drop kicks. Every single move in your repertoire is going to be very dangerous to me. But it's only going to take one GTS to put you to sleep, and you'll be looking at the new World Heavyweight Champion in all of WWE. This WrestleMania matchup between both of us, it will be my main event of WrestleMania. And I don't care who actually won the Royal Rumble this year in AJ Styles. It won't be the actual main event of WrestleMania. CM Punk and Gunther will be the main event of WrestleMania. And I will guarantee you this. Like I said, it'll be one hellacious fight, but I will walk out World Heavyweight Champion. Such big words coming from such a little man. Punk, don't get your hopes up, because once you lose your your match at WrestleMania, you're probably going to do what you did 10 years ago and leave once again. So you might as well just leave right now with your tail in between your legs and accept defeat at the hands of the Ring General, Gunther, at WrestleMania. Also, next week here on Monday Night Raw Punk, I'm going to be choosing your opponent to face off on Monday Night Raw, and also you get to choose my opponent on the Go Home show of Monday Night Raw. So I'll give you a good week to think about who you think would be good enough to test the waters with the World Heavyweight Champion. But whoever you choose will be someone that I will decimate right in front of you. Great idea, champ. We'll see how it goes for you and me next week, but you better bring your A game, Gunther, because if you don't, you're going to get upset and lose your World Heavyweight Championship, and CM Punk will be on top of WWE once again 10 years later. Words from CM Punk and Gunther, these two will go at it at WrestleMania next week at WrestleMania, but these two will be in action against hand-picked opponents next week here on the Go Home edition of Monday Night Raw. And as we continue for some more action, next is Bronson Reed and Grayson Waller. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the former United States champions go at it as Bronson Reed takes on Grayson Waller here next, here on Monday Night Raw. As we know, Bronson Reed came out last week after Theory lost to Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa retained his championship over Austin Theory. After the matchup, Bronson Reed would come down and tell Solo, hey, if you're looking for a WrestleMania match, look no further. You're looking at one of the best United States champions in recent history, and if you're looking for your WrestleMania moment, then go ahead and pick me. Well, Solo Sikoa accepted the challenge, and we'll see those two men going at it at WrestleMania for that United States Championship. But tonight, Bronson Reed will get his big time, you could say, a rematch for him because he lost to Grayson Waller a while back at the Royal Rumble in that gauntlet matchup. So we'll see how Bronson Reed fares in this matchup. We saw recently Bronson Reed was in a Money in the Bank qualifying matches when he took on Seth Rollins just a couple weeks ago here on Raw. Rollins would defeat Bronson Reed, but now for Bronson Reed, he does get his WrestleMania matchup there against Solo Sikoa. We'll see if Reed and Solo can exceed expectations there at WrestleMania, but just two brutal athletes going at it. It's going to be an absolute slugfest. Going to be an absolute war between the big man Bronson Reed and Solo Sikoa. And coming out of WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen, where will these superstars land? A part of that WWE draft. Triple H mentioned it last week here on Raw that every single member of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown are officially free agents after WrestleMania. So everyone is available to be drafted in that episode of the WWE draft. Who doesn't get drafted will be able to sign wherever they please. And here we go, matchup is official. Let's see if Bronson Reed can get some, you could say, some redemption after losing a couple months back to Grayson Waller in that United States Championship matchup. Those big haymakers from the big man Bronson Reed. We know Waller and Bronson Reed and also Austin Theory were a part of that Elimination Chamber match there in Australia, Perth, Australia. It was a hellacious matchup. Solo Sikoa, though, would walk out victorious and the new United States champion. And this man has had quite a bit of title defenses as of late, going through the likes of Austin Theory as well as Cameron Grimes. Grimes was a title defense because Grimes didn't come out in the correct spot in the Elimination Chamber. Shawn Michaels wanted to right that wrong and give him that opportunity. As Bronson Reed folding Grayson Waller like an accordion here. And like I mentioned the WWE draft, ladies and gentlemen, we could see teams be disbanded, all sorts of things. Imagine what happens with the Bloodline. Could you imagine what happens with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller? Will they be together? Will they be separated? It's, you know, a lot of big things that are going to be decided. A lot of homes could be changed, and for a lot of these superstars, scenery could be a good thing with changing. Ooh, big clubbing blow to the middle of the back. Reed now gonna go for the pinfall opportunity. Referee is right there. Will this be it? No. Big strong kick out from Grayson Waller. Oh, Bronson Reed, suicide dive, but no, Waller just getting hit maybe a tiny bit, but it wasn't enough to really affect him. And now this maybe come into question in this matchup because of how much damage may have been done to Bronson Reed on that suicide dive to the outside. Usually you can brace for impact when you're going up against another superstar of sorts, but I believe, honestly, when you run into nobody, it's going to be even a worse type of takedown for yourself. Now Bronson Reed getting his left shoulder and left arm being twisted how it should not be twisted. It seems like Waller's just eating this up as a brutal knee to the back of the neck. Waller now going to go try to get himself back in the ring. Referee is at an 8. Both the matchup will continue. Let's see if Waller can top off Bronson Reed. Is now Reed showing you that strength and power of the big man. And Solo Sikoa is going to have to be on the lookout for this big-time suplex. Oh, but there's Austin Theory putting his head where it doesn't belong. And now, oh, look at this. Is this almost going to be like a Coquita clutch of sorts? Look at this. Waller pulling out the submission move. Will this be enough to put away the big man, Bronson Reed? Oh, a reverse headbutt to the skull. That has awoken Bronson Reed. Oh, my goodness. Nothing like a good old reverse headbutt into a headbutt of his own. Back and forth we go. This is a good back and forth matchup. That's what you love to see between these two since they know each other so well. Theory and Bronson Reed, business partners. Then they brought in Grayson Waller. Before they even brought in Grayson Waller, Reed actually helped Austin Theory win the United States Championship and have some championship gold around their waist. And now Waller, what's he thinking about? Ooh. Hit him with that brutal forearm strike, enough to take him down to his knees. And certainly that could be a knockout punch. Could you imagine if Bronson Reed loses just a week away from WrestleMania, but he continues to fight? And obviously Solo Sikoa and Grayson Waller are two different types of athletes, and it's going to be a whole different ball game. As Theory helping out Waller, tossing him back inside the ring here. Seemed like Waller wanted to do some more damage outside the ring, but certainly Theory's like, hey, we're going to finish it right here, right now. Why not? And now look at Grayson Waller. Big old scoop slam. That did not look easy. Look like Waller may have been looking to maybe test the waters, maybe try to throw him or do something on the top rope possibly. And now Waller. Uh-oh. Oh, we've seen this before from Grayson Waller, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go through the rope. Stunner to Bronson Reed. Is this it? 1, 2. No, Reed kicks out at 2.5. And the referee being accused by Grayson Waller that he's not going fast enough. Uh-oh. Waller testing the waters here. Oh, my goodness. Brutal maneuver. They're landing on the elbow. I believe that was the elbow pad that helped him out there, but still, that is not going to be feeling too good. And now Bronson Reed has to decide what he wants to do. He needs to capitalize on this situation. And certainly a Uranagi will help out his troubles here. And Reed just going to try to inflict as much damage as he can for a big man. Uh-oh. Reed. That's halfway across the ring, big fella. Oh my God. You get it halfway across the ring. Is this it? 2. No, Waller kicks out. What a matchup. Both men hitting the biggest of maneuvers that they can, but it has not been enough. And, oh goodness, he's spinning like a spinning rock bottom of sorts from Bronson Reed. I don't think I've seen that from the big man. Certainly going to pull out all sorts of different maneuvers, especially when you're going to be facing Waller and also Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania. Now another guillotine maneuver, going to try to make Bronson Reed tap out. This is the best time to do it. You got to do what you need to do right now, and this is his moment. Will Bronson Reed tap out? You can see him slowly fading. But now Reed with the reverse headbutt, and it gets him out of his current predicament. Man, what a matchup. These guys are putting on a clinic. This is what you love to see. Two guys going to war. Both men want to make it to WrestleMania. So look at that haymaker from Waller. He's got that boxing strike there with that strike to the face. And Waller again, big time suplex there, that big body slam there, as Reed rolling out of the ring, trying to buy himself some much needed time. But Waller again from behind. This is like the third or fourth time he's hit this guillotine. He's trying to send a message to Bronson Reed, show him that he has his number. Look at him fading. Reed, he could pass out here. Obviously, it won't do much because there's we're outside here. It's not a Falls Count Anywhere matchup. But again, Bronson Reed continuing to fight out of it. What a match, man. Highly unpredictable. Been predictable that Theory has gotten involved here. But both of these men need to get themselves back in the ring to avoid a count out here. Look at them talking some trash, knowing that they both need to get back inside the ring here. Big clubbing blow. Here comes the big man, Bronson Reed. Those clubbing blows. And Bronson Reed has been awoken. You do not want Godzilla to be awoken here. Oh my goodness. Waller is busted open right on the left side of his eye. But Waller, strong kick out. That's 100% pure adrenaline from that young man. And now Waller being tasked, just thrown halfway across the ring. And oh no, is Waller in the landing zone for big man? Yes, he is. Tsunami to Grayson Waller. 2, 3. Bronson Reed with a hellacious win tonight on Raw. Look at that big old tsunami, man. Took a lot out of him early on. That big headbutt that busted him open and lead to the tsunami. And Bronson Reed gets a big win before WrestleMania. Bronson Reed, Solo Sikoa, United States Championship at WrestleMania. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-main event of the evening. We're going to have Indy Hartwell in action, being accompanied down to the ring with Candice LaRae, her women's tag team partner. We're going to see Indy Hartwell taking on Bayley, women's World Heavyweight Champion. Unfortunately for Candice LaRae, she won't be in that Money in the Bank matchup. She did lose to Dakota Kai earlier on tonight. But we'll see how this matchup fares in this one-on-one contest. Certainly Indy Hartwell looking to continue to climb up the rankings. She is a former women's tag team champion with Candice LaRae. Certainly have picked up big wins in those tag team matches. But we'll see if they can, maybe eventually get back into championship contention. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler have not had a challenger for WrestleMania just yet. So we'll have to wait and see if someone will step up to the plate for that. And now here comes your women's World Heavyweight Champion, and she will be defending her Women's World Championship there at WrestleMania. In the main event of WrestleMania, she will be taking on Bianca Belair. We know the storied past between both of these women. It comes back to a head after Bianca Belair. She said, hey, it's not a hard decision. I want my Women's World Championship back. So she has already picked her opponent for WrestleMania. It was easier for her. She picked Bayley, and it all comes to a head at WrestleMania. Can Bayley continue to be the Women's World Champion here, or will it be somebody else to be the top of the women's division here? Bianca Belair. Certainly Bianca Belair, one of the up-and-coming superstars ever since she was there in NXT, and when she got drafted over to Monday Night Raw, she, it was some growing pains, but finally won that Money in the Bank briefcase last year at WrestleMania, and she would go in to cash it in on Bayley and Charlotte Flair's rematch, and, well, if you know, Bianca Belair won that Women's Championship. Referee has rung the bell. Here we go, Indy Hartwell and Bayley. Oh, what a back suplex there early on. Bayley coming out here very aggressive, probably wanting to put away Indy Hartwell as fast as she can to make sure she'll be 100% going into WrestleMania. On the go-home show, though, for next week's Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, we already know Gunther and CM Punk will be in separate matches, as Gunther will be picking CM Punk's opponent, and Punk will be picking Gunther's opponent for Monday Night Raw next week here. And you'll be finding out, ladies and gentlemen, during the week to the build-up to Monday Night Raw. Make sure you guys keep an eye on the community page for Monday Night Raw to see who Gunther has chosen for Punk and vice versa. Certainly should be very interesting, nonetheless, to really see who's going to be able to, step up to the plate necessarily. Saying, hey, if you can pick up a win over the contender or even the world champion, hey, you never know how that's going to help you in the draft, as well as, maybe depending on who walks out champion, maybe you could be next in line in the future. You just never know, as Hartwell is able to move out the way of that elbow, and she connects with that drop kick. Hartwell now, pinfall opportunity. Could this be it? Strong kick out from the champion. Back and forth we go, and ladies and gentlemen, we are just moments away from having Shinsuke Nakamura, the king of strong style, the leader of D-Generation X. He will be taking on the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, one-on-one tonight, as we get a little taste of what's coming our way at WrestleMania in that six-man Mr. Money in the Bank matchup. Strong kick out from Indy Hartwell. Bayley was hoping that Bayley to belly was going to be it. And look at Indy. She's doing the right thing, rolling on the ring, just try to play a different game. Here's a swanton bomb from Bayley, putting everything out on the line as Bayley. And for Bayley, she has had a great 2023, the first ever winner of the Queen's Crown tournament, going on to win the World Heavyweight Championship later on at SummerSlam against Bianca Belair. So, ever since SummerSlam, Bayley has been the talk of the show, has been talk of WWE, and she's been that Women's World Champion ever since then. But will Bayley lose it at WrestleMania, or will Bayley continue to have her reign of terror here in WWE? And now Bayley with another swanton bomb. I don't think her ribs are going to be intact after this matchup, as Bayley picks up the victory. Man, swanton bomb city tonight out of Bayley. We saw her hit the Bayley to belly. It wasn't enough to put Indy Hartwell there, but that right there is the second swanton bomb. The first one was to the outside, on the outside right front of the announce table. Bayley sent a strong message tonight, and Bayley, Bianca Belair, next week at WrestleMania. I cannot wait. Who is going to walk out winner? And let's see if these women will be on Monday Night Raw. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is your main event of Monday Night Raw. The king of strong style, the leader of D-Generation X, Shinsuke Nakamura, is in the building tonight. And he will look to take down your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, just a couple weeks ago, here on Monday Night Raw, qualified to be in this matchup by defeating Santos Escobar in that Money in the Bank qualifier. And in that men's Money in the Bank matchup, we have a star-studded men's Money in the Bank. We have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rey Mysterio, Tyler Bate, and Wade Barrett. Definitely some intrigue into that Money in the Bank matchup. We have those big names, the Hall of Famers in there, but then you have superstars that are trying to get their moment, especially Tyler Bate. Here on the main roster hasn't done the best, and neither in his NXT career as well, but this could be his moment to be Mr. Money in the Bank here on Raw. And then also same for Wade Barrett with a massive win tonight over Bron Breakker, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. So we could be looking at one of these two guys winning the Money in the Bank match, or will it be any of the four others? As now we wait for your tribal chief to make his presence known here on Monday Night Raw. It is going to be chaotic. It is going to be an absolute all-out war on the road to WrestleMania, and especially at WrestleMania, it's going to be absolute craziness galore. Expect the unexpected, I can guarantee you that, for Roman Reigns and company, winning that Money in the Bank briefcase to where he can cash in any time on his brand's champion. So that could be either CM Punk or Gunther coming out of WrestleMania. But with everyone eligible to be drafted on draft night, the bloodline could look different. And if Roman Reigns were to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get Gunther or CM Punk on his brand as the champion. It could be, obviously Sami Zayn or even AJ Styles from SmackDown as a champion on his brand. It just really honestly depends. Honestly, I doubt Adam Pearce would draft Roman Reigns and the bloodline to NXT. That would be absolute craziness, but I guess you couldn't put it past Adam Pearce. It honestly just depends on what these GMs want their rosters to look like. Do they want somebody with a big ego like the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, a man that can lead their brand into the future? Or do they want a man that is here every single night with the likes of Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, plenty of other big names, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio? Those guys are from Judgment Day, certainly. Or do you want a woman like Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Tegan Nox, Liv Morgan, so on and so forth? Here we go. Matchup is official. These guys have had a long, storied past on SmackDown. Long time ago. Certainly probably about, I would say, 6-7 years ago between these two when they were feuding over the United States Championship. Certainly those matches between both of those guys literally tore down SmackDown just in the terms of the quality of how damn good those matches were for Nakamura and Roman Reigns. Reigns was able to have the best of the best in those matches with the likes of Nakamura, and same with Dolph Ziggler when Roman Reigns was facing off with Dolph Ziggler back in the day. So certainly there's a long storied past, and that even makes these matches more personal and more even hard-hitting as well, I believe, because it's all about one-upping each other in this clash. And this Nakamura is a whole different Nakamura than Roman Reigns has seen since joining the bloodline and everything like that. Nakamura has been that one that's had the fans behind him and everything, but this Nakamura is a whole different Nakamura, a more aggressive side of Nakamura, does not care what the fans think, and will look to take you out at any means possible. As now Reigns getting, oh my goodness, that running knee to the ribs took down Reigns to the outside. Normally you see a clothesline to the outside, but that was very unique when it comes to Shinsuke Nakamura's offense. And can Nakamura pick up a big win for him, some much needed momentum heading in to WrestleMania? And we don't know if these superstars in this matchup right now will be in action next week, or how it's going to be faring on the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw. You'll just have to stay tuned in the build-up to Monday Night Raw next week, because we'll have Raw, NXT, and SmackDown next week, as well as NXT Stand and Deliver. That will be early Saturday, and then later on we're going to have the pre-show of the WrestleMania event of the gauntlet matches for WrestleMania Night 1. Then whoever wins that matchup will go on to take on their respective brands' tag team champions that same night, and then the pre-show for Sunday for WrestleMania Night 2, and so on and so forth, man. It's going to be a lot to digest, a lot of change in scenery, everything's going down, and I mean, it's something that you're going to love to see. Is, oh no, Reigns with that, I guess I almost want to call it a suicide dive, but honestly, it didn't work out in his favor, and Roman Reigns is in trouble now. Your Tribal Chief is going to have to try and dig down deep right now, because how Nakamura is coming after him. Nakamura is going to, I would say, enjoy it, but Reigns going to use it for his own self right here. And look at Paul. He's telling Roman he's got this. Reigns is going to take his time. He realizes he doesn't need to rush back in. He can take his time, take a moment here tonight, and just recuperate. Oh, what a knee again! And those knee strikes continue to take a toll on the ribs, man. You take too many of those, you're going to have a broken rib, maybe a bruised kidney. That's what is so hard about taking on a man like Shinsuke Nakamura. The king of strong style for a reason. But now Roman trying to get himself back in it here. This is the moment to do it. As both men going back and forth. Another knee strike to the ribs. Nakamura has set out on what he wants to do, and he's doing it to Roman Reigns right now. At least momentarily he was. Roman now, is he thinking spear here? Is he looking to finish Shinsuke Nakamura? Spear! He just speared him in half. Pinfall opportunity. 2, 3. Just like that. Despite Roman Reigns getting his ribs kicked out by Shinsuke Nakamura, Roman Reigns laying down the attack on Nakamura at the end with that spear out of nowhere. And Roman Reigns will be going on to WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen, with momentum. We'll see if he's going to be on next week's edition of Monday Night Raw. But a massive win for your tribal chief. Love him or hate him, he just defeated DX's own Nakamura. It looks like Seth frickin' Rollins is here. This episode is not concluded just yet. Seth frickin' Rollins, one of the members in this Money in the Bank briefcase matchup. Seth Rollins is here, and it looks like he is out here maybe to confront Roman Reigns. Certainly two Shield members, two superstars that know each other very, very well. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they had a match months back where Roman took it to Seth Rollins in that matchup. But Seth frickin' Rollins here, and he seems like he is in one of his moods, absolutely enjoying what he is here to do tonight here on Monday Night Raw. Wonder what Rollins is Rollins gonna have a live mic? Is he gonna say something to Roman Reigns? But this crowd is just eating this up, though, ladies and gentlemen. Seth frickin' Rollins definitely going to be one of the favorites walking in to that Money in the Bank briefcase. But necessarily, those odds will not be easy for them to walk out with that briefcase, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that. The crowd still chanting along with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, face to face. And I can only imagine what may go down between these two at WrestleMania. You can feel the intensity. Two major players in WWE looking to become the face of WWE. Something is going to go down, and oh, look at Roman Reigns dropping the first couple blows to Seth Rollins. And now Seth is bringing back the fight. Oh, and a big super kick right to the ribs. Now Rollins bringing the fight to Roman. This is what you love to see. Come on, Seth. Come on, Seth. Look at him just stomping away. Stomping a mud hole into Roman Reigns here. Into the drop kick. Rollins coming out here to make a statement against him and the rest of the bloodline here. And look at this. Into a super kick as well. But now Roman's time. Roman now. Back and forth we go. Oh, into a massive, massive headbutt. Into another one as well. Seth may have chose the wrong day to come out here and try to take it to Roman Reigns. How about now Seth? Big time gut buster. Or I should say gut punch and a big time swirling takedown there of Roman Reigns. And now we can only imagine what these two are going to be thinking about doing to each other. But again, just stomping a mud hole into his opponent. And again, just taking it to Roman Reigns. Certainly you're Seen a little bit more of an aggressive side from Seth Rollins. He's going to try to make sure this man, Roman Reigns, does not get any more power heading in to WrestleMania. Roman, you've been a thorn in everybody's side here on Monday Night Raw for a very, very long time. And it doesn't matter what brand we're going to be after WrestleMania. I'm going to make sure that this ends and no more power to the bloodline. I guarantee you that. Now, you're lucky I didn't curb stomp you in the middle of this ring. I'll see you next week because I have a guaranteed match with you next week here on Raw. Holy crap, Rollins with a massive, massive announcement saying that Rollins and Roman Reigns will have a guaranteed matchup next week here on Monday Night Raw, but the matchup does not end here. Both of the men continuing to go at it here. And now, this is what Rollins was talking about. He didn't get to curb stomp Reigns in the middle of that ring, but he just curb stomped him here. But now Rollins, he's not done yet. He's going to make sure the bloodline don't get any more power than they already have. And this is not good for the bloodline right now. But with Rollins doing with what he's doing, he may make the bloodline a permanent enemy here. Oh no. Uh-oh. Rollins looking for a sit-out powerbomb to Reigns to close out Monday Night Raw. Next week, we see Rollins and Roman Reigns here live on Raw. And Rollins, another curb stomp, but this time on the broken table. Next week, Rollins, Reigns, Monday Night Raw.